Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Trump acts very immaturely or immature, and it's disappointing. It's disappointing. I will explain why. I will have an article here where I will show what Trump does to China. He wants to talk to Xi Jinping, but wants Xi Jinping to call him. Well, I will explain in the context of the tariffs what that means, or in business in general. The person who calls usually is putting himself, in general, in an inferior position. Why would Xi Jinping call, and why would Trump demand Xi Jinping call him? So he can say, you called me, I didn't call you. He said this many times in the past. So that's the first topic. The second topic, the European Union seemed to challenge the United States of America, and that is none other than von der Leyen. Von der Leyen claims in the trade war, in the tariffs war with the United States of America, there are many countries lining up to do business with us against you. I think Miss von der Leyen will fly off that position pretty soon. That's the second topic. And the last one, China changed its mood since the tariffs. I don't think actually since the tariffs. I think since the Ukraine garbage. I think China decided, you know what, this is for real. If these guys are willing to go to war against Russia, we are next. Therefore, we have to pick a side. Now, they were on the Russian side because you keep your back covered, and you fight the other guy and try to be nice. But when you see that guy comes around you and attacks your back cover, you understand that you have to turn around and make common front with the guy who backs you over there. So what's going on over here? China to retaliate with sanctions on US officials and NGO leaders. China has never done this kind of things to the United States of America before. China stopped buying liquefied natural gas from the United States of America. China reduced its oil purchases from the United States of America 90% and buys oil from Canada. And China suspended the sale of rare earth minerals. These are three things that really affect the United States of America greatly. The Chinese are ready. They say they will fight till the end. Trump miscalculated, I think, a lot of things. Things changed. And that has been revealed with the craziness of Ukraine war. When these imbeciles in Biden administration and whomever who are in charge of them decided not to negotiate with the Russians the Ukraine issue, it really triggered this domino effect where people started, jumping from this ship to another ship, from no ship on one ship, to feel protected. Now they realize that for real, these guys are drunk with a shotgun, going in the parking lot and picking up fights. And you can't have that. You need protection as a weaker, smaller country. So let's start with the first topic, the first article. I will read the article and then I will explain why Trump, I think, acts in an infantile way. Russia Today, 21st of April 2025. Trump wants direct talks with Xi, according to Politico. The US president is reportedly not interested in informal diplomatic contacts with China on trade. That's excellent. Fantastic. I want one-on-one. But the problem is, I want to talk to you, but I want you to call me. All right. US President Donald Trump has stifled almost every channel of diplomatic outreach with China, aiming to deal directly with the Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping. But Xi Jinping doesn't want to talk to him. That's the problem. Xi Jinping does not bow down this time. As the trade war between the two superpowers escalates, Politico has reported citing anonymous sources. I like anonymous sources because I can use anonymous sources and you will never know if they are real, exist or not. The same here. I don't know if this is true. The increasing tit-for-tat duties between the US and China is part of a broader US tariff campaign against more than 90 countries, said to be aimed at addressing unfair trade imbalances. Well, tariffs are unfair. The unfair trade imbalances are because we suck in producing things. That's what it is. But the tariffs should be, I think, at the same level. So again, Beijing was excluded and faces 145 because this guy says 90 days, I give you a respiro because I can't fight you all. Therefore, I'm going to focus on China. So it started imposing this and imposing that. The US president is adamant about direct negotiations with Xi and has stifled all other diplomatic avenues, citing anonymous former pop. Trump has not authorized White House delegates to engage with Beijing. The outlet cited its sources as saying, in addition, the Senate has not confirmed a U.S. ambassador to China. Trump has not nominated an official to lead a diplomatic effort, and Washington has thus far not reached out to the Chinese embassy. Why? They hope the Chinese will come begging. Therefore, they will say, they cracked. So if they want something, I'm going to impose. I have the higher position. But Chinese are not the baboons, okay? So they say, no, we'll see. We'll see in court. In court meaning in the world. We'll see in the economies, how the economies will react. And your stock market is in doo-doo. And I'm quoting, the back channels don't work because President Donald Trump doesn't want them to. This guy said, Trump wants to deal directly with President Xi in the same way he has with Russian President Vladimir Putin, he said, this guy. Washington is waiting for Beijing to reach out and call first. China wants to make a deal. They just don't know how quite to go about it, Trump says. They are proud people. All right. So you understand what's going on over here? I want something from you. I do something to you. In this case, I'm okay with United States of America equalizing the tariffs. It's only fair. No tariffs, all tariffs. Level tariff, but not this kind of tariffs. So Trump says, we're going to equalize the tariffs. We're going to make it fair. So they did this. And then they said, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. So now Trump expects the other side to break. That is, it hurts. I want to talk to you. That's exactly what Trump wants. I heard Trump on at least 2 occasions on his interviews with, I don't know who those guys were. I can't remember the names, but you can figure them out. They are on YouTube, for instance. Where he said, when he gets cornered, he said, remember, you called me, I didn't call you. That means I'm the guy in charge. You want to talk to me. I don't want to talk to you. I heard him on 2 occasions with 2 baboons from I can't remember what kind of station, but you can find them. So he has this little tactic. I know his tactic that far. Therefore, right now I can analyze it clearly what this guy is doing. A pattern under the same circumstances. A little bit different, but you can make a pattern and the relationship between the two. So he wants to have the driver's seat. Xi Jinping knows that and says, no, I'm not going to call you. I want you to call me so I can dictate to you and say, see, he called me. I don't want to talk to you, man. It's like those people that I met in my life who are not invited to a party because, I don't know, maybe they don't deserve to be invited to the party. And they start crying. They didn't invite me. And then the person who did not invite them in the first place makes the mistake of saying, oh, fuck it. Let's invite these guys. Hey, you want to come to the party? Are you okay? And then person says, no, I don't want to come to your party. That's exactly what Trump does right now. He wants to be invited to a party so he can decline the invitation. He's in charge. And the Chinese will not cave in. Okay, that's with Trump. Next one. I'm going to show you the European Union supposedly go against the United States of America. Have no chance. New Voice of Ukraine. This is from April 22nd. Remember, this is an unelected official. She was confirmed by some people. She was not elected by the European people. Nations are lining up to work with EU amid Trump trade tensions. Von der Leyen. Now remember, nations, they don't tell you how many. That means from the very beginning, this person tries to make it big. Like for instance, when I say, well, Europe is with us. That when I say Europe, that means the whole Europe, not 3 countries from Europe. Like the Europeans will talk to Trump in London. It's not the Europeans. There are 3, exactly 3. France, Great Britain, and Ukraine. That's it. So when I say Europe is gonna give gonna tell the Americans what to do in London. No, not the Europeans. 3 European countries out of what, 40 some? That's a difference. So the same here, nations. Okay, let's see what nations, baby doll. Not necessarily that she's telling the truth. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen discussed the issue in an interview with Politico. These guys are everywhere. These are against Trump. That's 100%. Why? He defunded them. Defunded them from the US aid. Remember that little scandal? Pay attention to that. And Politico will never say anything positive, now that they did, towards Trump. European Commission von der Leyen says countries around the world are actively seeking closer ties with Europe as the global balance of power undergoes profound change. And European Union is a dying whore. Nobody wants, but hey, they think they still have it. It's like those heavyweight boxers, former champions. They are right now like 68, if they get to 68, and they're already, you can see, and I say, yeah, champ, how are you doing? Oh, man, you still got it, champ, you still got it. No, you didn't get shit. You're dying, you're over there. That's European Union. Or the last spasms, when the fish is like in the last... That's what the Europeans are right now. Last spasm to equalize the reality with their delusion. Their delusion is right here. This is where we are, and this is reality. So they are drawn back little by little by being shown their irrelevancy, coming back, and there's a spasm, like we're dying, like a fish out of the water. And then reality, you dead. The same here, you dead. But hey, it takes time and some spasms in the meantime. In comments to reporters, von der Leyen said she has recently held talks with leaders from Iceland, this is around the world, the countries, New Zealand, Malaysia, Canada, Philippines, India, United Arab Emirates, all looking for strong, reliable partners. That's excellent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 countries. 7 countries. What was the title? Nations. Around the world. Where is that? Around the world. Right? Around the world. It's true, around the world. Iceland, unimportant. New Zealand, unimportant. Malaysia, Canada, unimportant. Philippines, India, important. United Arab Emirates, important. The problem is this. Important to a certain extent. They want oil, that's all. These guys also have trade relationship with other countries. And you, European Union, you are not in the driver's seat. So these guys are not coming to do trade with you. But it's like when a bank's vault is open, people come to get the money. My God, the Americans opened the vault of the European Union. Everybody, let's go. Woo! They don't come over there to make deposits in the bank. They will go over there to withdraw. Like that, the money from the open vault of European Union, whatever it's left. These guys are going over there to plunder, like the banks. The banks are not helping you. They're over there to make a profit. If you die, they're going to move on to another one. And everybody dies and they die. That's why we are more important than the bank. Businesses are more important than the banks. But somehow, the banks are in the driver's seat. Did you notice that? They're always like dictating and telling, when actually they live because of us. It's like a rib and the organism. A rib, if you take one of my ribs and put it right here, the rib is going to die. It's already dead. It's going to die. It's going to rotten. I, on the other hand, I will not. The same as the Bible. That's why I give you this example with Adam and Eve. Right? That's why the man can live without a woman. The woman on its own not really needs to be with the man. That's according to the teachings. Okay. All right. So you have to be a wizard from time to time. So they are ready to make business. And the United States of America will tell them, yeah, I'm going to show you what business they will do with you. You know how? How many troops do you have in America? European Union, I'm listening. I tell you, about 0. How many troops do we have in your country, in your territory, on your land? More than 100,000, I would guess, because about 70,000 are in Germany, if I remember correctly, with everything else that's are in the baboon states of Poland, Romania, Baltic states, and others. Probably they add to at least 100,000 American troops, plus nuclear warheads and airplanes and airfields in your countries. So who's who? AC/DC. Who made you? I made you. Well, my friends, if someone has troops in your country to protect you, but you don't have troops in their country to protect them, that tells you are the vassal. I mean, that's ABC 1, 2, 3. Let's go to the last article and topic. Associated Press. China to retaliate with sanctions on US officials, NGO leaders over Hong Kong issues. So what happened? China will sanction United States officials like never before. Lawmakers and leaders of non-governmental organizations who it says have performed poorly on Hong Kong issue, the foreign ministry announced. Okay, what they do? So they have the courage to do this. They are on the offensive. Trump did not expect this. That's the problem. Trump did not expect this. The problem is China is, you want to hit us? We are with Russia next here. You can't kneel Russia. How do you think we're going to kneel us? That's a big world out there, with or without you. And what are you going to do? Are you going to be alone? I guarantee you, unfortunately, United States of America's thunderbolt is gone. That is the military. Unless they're going to just start attacking these countries, and they won't. Why? I said this, and I came to this conclusion a long time ago. The United States of America's military is overly inflated as potential. Sorry, overly inflated. The only thing that America supposedly has is nuclear warheads, nuclear weapons. Yes, it has airplanes, it has some useless aircraft. One missile destroys the whole thing, sinks it, so that's why it's useless. Nevertheless, useless for the real guys. But it's not what they say it is. Look at the United States of America's wars against whom? After, let's say, get Vietnam War out, which again, Vietnam was not the United States of America over. There were a lot of Western countries working over there, right? And they still didn't do squat. Why? They say, well, we were not allowed to. That's how the story goes. But hey, some is true. Part of this narrative. The military was not allowed to really flatten Vietnam. We would have won if we were allowed, but the politicians. Hey, you're going now to mined territory. Remember Adolf said about the First World War, the stab in the back. You can't say that now. So the same, the Americans said, well, we were stabbed in the back by the politicians in Washington, D.C. with the military, with the fucked up Vietnam. You didn't fight Vietnam. You fight the Soviet Union, you fight China, you fight many others. So on that one, that was a big war. Well, ended in 1970 something, right? After that, what these guys fight? What? Panama? Or what the hell did they get in what? Honduras, Nicaragua? What the hell they did? They got Yugoslavia with an always with an alliance, always, not alone one-on-one, always. It was the Haiti intervention, or this sent some troops over there, but Haiti had what? I mean, please, I don't want to talk about these things, but Yugoslavia, alliance. Iraq, alliance. Iraq had 20 million people, 22, 23 million people. Then Afghanistan, alliance. How many people over there? 3 goats, 5 baboons, and rocks, and nothing. And then they went to what? They went to Libya, 4 million people. Ooh, alliance, NATO. And then they went to Syria again. Well, big Syria, alliance. Now in Ukraine, alliance. That tells you alone they fight the Houthis. Really? 30 million people in Yemen, and the Houthis are what? Against what? 300,000 people? Or how many they are? Really? Against, can you notice the pattern here? They don't take on big countries, strong countries, always, and with an alliance of other baboons. The same Great Britain. That tells you the limitations. So China knows. You, unfortunately, shows your limitations in Ukraine. You didn't expect that. Russia did not fall, did not collapse. That shows me you and your 30-some countries that are declared war on those guys failed. Therefore, why should we be afraid of you? And don't you know that these guys, don't you think that these guys don't study the past? Looking at these patterns that I just mentioned and even more, don't you think that these guys know what they have? They have nuclear warheads. What are you going to do with them? What are you going to do with them? Are you going to use them? We have them too. Remember, Russia has that, how do you call it, doctrine? I can't remember how it's called now. Not a nuclear doctrine, but it's turn off the light doctrine. So in case the Russian state collapses, everything detonates by itself. I can't remember how it's called. Look for it. That is, if Russia loses, it automatically deploys its nuclear warheads inside Russia. We all go bye-bye. That is, you can't win against Russia unless you take control of the Russian leadership and the media, the military, and then you do it differently. Through love and friendship, remember? Hello, Ivan, we're friends now. Come over here. Let me show you over there the moon. Is the moon okay over there? Yeah. Oh, look over there. Oh. All right. And I'm going to get Zelensky Stein. Come over here, Mr. Goldberg. You're going to be the president-elect of Russia. Or maybe, I don't know, Kosman. Or I don't know, something Stein. Or I don't know, Stirsky, Birsky, Pakalirsky. This is the new method of taking over Russia. Not fighting because they can't. Like that. We're friends now, man. We accept you in the circle of friends. Remember Fockers? The Fockers meet the Fockers? We're in the circle of friends, Focker. You know, circle of friends. Oh my God, and the Fokker wanted I wanted to be in the circle of friends. Why do you want to be in a circle of friends with these baboons? I don't want to be with you. I want to be with these guys who are loyal, honest, direct, or better than you. I know we are the civilized West. Yeah, the Judeo-Christian democracies and capitalism, man. The rule of law, rights, freedoms, equality of rights, and Jesus Christ, man. Mirage. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.